This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time is 6:15. Here is the news, edited by Dilini Kunwardana, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. The President convenes Cabinet Committee to formulate and implement a national education policy framework. Price of milk powder will be slashed. A pilot project is to be carried out to uplift Aswasuma welfare scheme beneficiaries. Cabinet nods for the draft bill on gender socialization equality. 2 new envoys present credentials to the President. Foreign news, Gaza, war. First aid ship sets off from Cyprus. Sports news, women's cricket. Sri Lanka women's under-19 team is to play a tri-nation series involving Australia and England. Local news in detail. The Cabinet Committee to formulate and implement a National Education Policy Framework, NEPF, convened yesterday under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The committee focused specifically on the urgent and critical measures necessary to address immediate challenges within the current education landscape. A bill to establish a National Council for Teachers will be presented to the Council of Members and subsequently to the Parliament within a month. The goal of this council is to elevate the teaching profession to a position of high recognition. It seeks to enhance teacher professional qualities, introduce a clear professional development framework with a specific pathway for educators, and assess the teacher salary structure to align with emerging professional standards. Given the significant societal demand for English medium education, it was also proposed that the number of such schools should be increased to 1,000. This expansion aims to accommodate at least 200,000 students receiving education in English by the year 2025. President Ranil Wickremesinghe instructed the recruitment of 2,500 new teachers to expedite the implementation of this initiative. Additionally, the directive includes recruiting 1,100 graduates proficient in teaching in English medium through an open competitive examination. This will also include 400 College of Education teachers who are set to graduate from colleges of education that currently provide training for teachers in English medium. Minister of Trade Nalin Fernando said that the price of a packet of milk powder is expected to be reduced. Accordingly, it is expected to slash the price by an amount ranging between 100 rupees to 150 rupees from this Friday. Cabinet spokesman Minister Bandula Gunawardena said a pilot project to uplift 16,000 Aswasuma beneficiaries' families using Asian Development Bank, World Bank and local funds will be implemented in selected divisional secretariats of the 25 districts. Applications for the second phase of the welfare scheme close on the 15th of March. Minister of State for Finance Shayan Semasinga said payments will be made to the beneficiaries selected under this second phase in July. Nearly 2 million people are entitled to welfare benefits, and the second phase is expected to increase that number to 2.4 million. 205 billion rupees has been allocated for this purpose in this year's budget. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
At People's Bank, we empower your pride. People's Bank, pride of the nation.
Continuing with more local news, Minister Dr. Bandulu Gunawardene said that Cabinet approval has been granted for the draft bill on gender socialization equality to be published in the Government Gazette notification for Parliament approval. Approval of the Cabinet was received at the meeting held in September 2022 for preparation of the draft bill on gender socialization equality. Accordingly, clearance of the Attorney General has been granted for the draft bill on gender socialization equality that has been prepared. The Cabinet approved the proposal presented by the President in his office as the Minister of Women, Child Affairs and Social Empowerment to publish the draft bill in the Government Gazette notification and subsequently to table the same for the approval of the Parliament. The Ambassador of the Republic of Korea, Myeon Lee, met Speaker Mahinda Abhiwadan recently in the Parliament. Addressing the gathering, the ambassador stated that she hopes to provide more opportunities to Sri Lankan students for higher education in South Korea. Furthermore, in the coming June, a Korean education exhibition will be held with the support of the Ministry of Education and the universities of this country. The State Minister of Education, A. Aravind Kumar, stated that it is necessary to increase teaching Korean language in schools in Sri Lanka and requested to be provided with the necessary support required for this. The ambassador assured the Republic of Korea will do its best to assist Sri Lanka in every possible way. That ends local news.
Right decisions with noble intentions bring pride to you and the nation. At People's Bank, we empower your pride. People's Bank, pride of the nation.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
A newly appointed ambassador and a High Commissioner to Sri Lanka presented their credentials to President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the President's house. Accordingly, Mr. Paitun Mahapanaporn, the ambassador of the Kingdom of Thailand, and Major General retired Fahim Ul-Aziz, the High Commissioner of Pakistan, called on the head of state this morning. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight, the National Water Supply and Drainage Board have requested the public to use water sparingly in light of the prevailing arid weather conditions. Deputy General Manager of the board, Anoja Kaluaraj, explained that in the event the current extreme dry weather continues for the next 2 months, it is likely that water will have to be supplied on a shift basis. However, she assured that sufficient water levels are currently available. The request is made as a precautionary measure, stating no restrictions or limitation of water supply has been implemented in any areas thus far. She urged for consumers to call the 24-hour NWSDB hotline 1919 in the event such issues are experienced. That came to you on Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
Headlines first. Gaza war. First aid ship sets off from Cyprus. Ukraine-based Russian armed groups claim raids into Russia. Haiti's Prime Minister resigns as law and order collapses. World News in detail. A ship taking almost 200 tons of food and to Gaza left a port in Cyprus early on Tuesday, in a pilot project to open a new sea route of aid to a population on the brink of famine. The charity ship Open Arms was seen sailing out of Cyprus, towing a barge containing flour, rice and protein. The exact location where it plans to dock has not been disclosed. The mission, mostly funded by the United Arab Emirates, is being organized by US-based charity World Central Kitchen, while the Spanish charity supplies the ship. The charity intends to take aid directly to Gaza, which has been sealed off from the outside world since the 7th October attack on Israel by Hamas. Three Ukraine-based Russian paramilitary groups say they have crossed into Russia and are now fighting government troops there. The Freedom of Russia Legion and the Serbian battalion posted videos purportedly showing their fighters in Russia's Belgorod and Kursk region. An exiled Russian politician claimed one village in the Belgorod region was now controlled by liberation forces. Russia's defense minister said the breakthrough attempts were thwarted. Ukraine's military denied any involvement in Tuesday's cross-border raids. Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry has agreed to resign following weeks of mounting pressure and increasing violence in the impoverished country. It comes after regional leaders met in Jamaica on Monday to discuss the political transition in Haiti. Mr. Henry is currently stranded in Puerto Rico after being prevented by armed gangs from returning home. In a video address announcing his resignation, Mr. Henry urged Haitians to remain calm. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Gaza war, first aid ship sets off from Cyprus. Ukraine-based Russian armed groups claim raids into Russia. Haiti's Prime Minister resigns as law and order collapses. That ends world news.
Development News.
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said Sri Lanka Standards Institution and the Standardization Administration of China will sign an agreement to iron out barriers in trade linked to non-tariffed areas. Cabinet approval has been granted to sign the Memorandum of Understanding. Through this, Sri Lanka is seeking to expand on trade agreements to facilitate exports of goods and services. That came to you on Development News.
Moving on with sports news.
Sri Lanka, Australia and England women under-19 teams will play a tri-nation series involving both T20 and 50-over games during the months of March and April 2024. Each team will play 4 T20 games and 2 50-over games during the contest. The winner of the contest will be decided based on the accumulated points based on match wins, while the focus of the series is to provide vital match exposure for under-19 women cricketers. That came to you on Sports News.
Go ekakthiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
HNB plc reaffirmed its dominant leadership position after being ranked Best Retail Bank in Sri Lanka for the 14th year at the Asian Bank Global Excellence in Retail Financial Services Awards 2024. Hosted by the prestigious Asian Bank magazine, the awards are considered among the most rigorous and influential programs for consumer financial services in the world. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekakthiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Moving on to economic news, a pilot project to uplift 16,000 Aswasma beneficiary families using Asian Development Bank, World Bank and local funds will be implemented in the selected divisional secretariats of these 25 districts. Applications for the second phase of the welfare scheme close on the 15th of March. Minister of State for Finance Jan Semasinga said payments will be made to the beneficiaries selected under the second phase in July. That ends economic news.
Weather report.
Showers or thundershowers may occur at a few places in Ratnapura, Kalutara, Gaul and Mathur districts in the evening or night. Mainly dry weather will prevail in the other areas of the island. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western, Sabaragamu and Uva provinces and in the Gaul and Mathur districts during the morning. That ends with the report. To wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The President convenes Cabinet Committee to formulate and implement a National Education Policy Framework. Price of milk powder will be slashed. A pilot project is to be carried out to uplift Aswasma Welfare Scheme beneficiaries. Cabinet nods for the draft bill on gender socialization equality. 2 new envoys presents credentials to the President. Foreign news, Gaza war. First aid ship sets off from Cyprus. Sports news, women's cricket. Sri Lanka's women's under-19 team is to play a tri-nation series involving Australia and England. With that, we wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka. Back to my good friend, yours, Chandima Bilakon.